Good morning, grade 4s. Today we are going to talk about the difference between good and well. People mix these two up all the time, and you can tell if someone really knows their stuff by whether or not they use good or well properly in a sentence. So, just a little trick for us to remember, good is always used like an adjective. And we know that an adjective always describes the noun. N-O-U-N, noun. Well is always used like an adverb. So it usually describes a verb. Now, most adverbs can describe other things as well. They can describe adjectives, they can describe other adverbs, but whenever we use well, it is usually describing a verb. So that is the biggest difference between the two. If we use good, we're describing a noun. If we're using well, we're describing a verb. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at a few sentences. All of these sentences are in your textbook, and all of them are completely correct. Our job is just to confirm that good is being used to describe nouns and well is being used to describe verbs. So let's take a little look. In number 1, our sentence reads, "Did you do well on the test?" Did you do well? What is well describing? Is it describing the test? You have a well test? Nope. It's describing how the person did on the test, or how do they do. And do is a verb. Therefore, this should be the adverb. And in this case, well is supposed to be the adverb, so we're doing good. Number 2, did you make a good grade? In this case, good, it is describing a grade, which is a noun, which makes this an adjective. So good can be found right in front of a noun sometimes. Sometimes that's the way to identify it. Next one, Ryan feels well today. Well here is describing how he's feeling. So once again, when it describes a verb, we use well. Number 4, this is a good painting. Good is describing the painting. Because it's describing a noun, we use the word good. Number 5, Mia did a good job on her book report. Good is describing her job, and job again is a noun, so therefore we use good. The biography of Abe Lincoln is good. Good is describing that biography. That one's a little bit of a jump, but because it's describing a thing, a noun, we are using the word good. Christopher writes well. In this case, we're using well to describe a verb, and so we use well. And finally, Mr. Sewell's writing on the chalkboard is very good. This is describing writing as well, but in this case, is writing a noun or is it a verb? If you're talking about someone's writing, that's actually a noun, and because it's describing a noun, we use good instead of well. So really, that's what it boils down to, everyone. In a sentence, if you're using well, it describes a verb. If you're using good, it's describing a noun. Give it a try. See what you can do, and see if you can use these properly in your own sentences now too. I never want to hear anyone say, "I'm doing good," ever again. Because if you're doing something, you're describing doing, you're doing well. So if someone ever says, "How are you today?" don't say, "I'm doing good." Say, "I'm doing well, thank you very much." That would be the correct form of English. I hope you learned something today, grade 4s. Goodbye.